Hello and welcome to The Social Connection, your weekly dose of the happenings in the world of social media with me, Shreya Upadhyay and Ishani Mathur.
Yeah, so sit back and relax as we take you through all the fun and a little bit of the drama that did the rounds in the social media space.
That's right, so now let's take a look at what we've got in store for you for the next half an hour that you've booked with us. What you netizens did that caught our attention and what new we have for you.
So here are the interesting stories that made it to our headlines.
Over 100 million Indian users generate 0.1% revenue for social media platforms.
Almost 4 million tweets create buzz around Tour de France 2014.
Amazon now lets you buy products while watching videos.
And Facebook Messenger mandatory to chat on your mobile phones.
Let's get started. India, with its booming population, is no surprise will translate into social media consumers. However, the paradox is that despite India being the world's third largest internet market, social networking giants like Facebook and Twitter hardly make money. Let's check out what has kept the profits away.
While the largest number of users outside of the United States are in India, the social networking sites like Facebook and Twitter make very little money from the country, where Google owns a large part of the digital advertising market. Facebook has 100 million users in India, its second largest market worldwide. Similarly, for LinkedIn, India is the second largest market, while for Twitter, India is said to be the third largest market in terms of user base. However, when it comes to monetization, the story is completely different. For each of these platforms, India contributes less than 1% of the global revenue, a problem they are trying to address in a new way. Growing smartphone penetration is likely to help these companies monetize better. Twitter said in its latest annual filing this March that in emerging markets like India, many users access the service through feature phones with limited functionality. Another hurdle for the growth of these companies in India is that Indians do not prefer to click on the links that take them away from a website, according to Karthik Srinivasan, National Lead Social at O&M. Compared to the global click-through rates of close to 2%, in India it is below 1%. We often have to tone down the conversation metric to look at whether the customer clicked on a link or not, instead of a more meaningful metric such as whether the customer added a product to the shopping basket, he said. Online advertising is growing at 29% year over year with estimated revenue of about 3,000 crore in 2013-14. According to the Internet and Mobile Association of India, Google owns over 80% of this market. The share of the online advertising pie is also increasing, with large FMCG companies increasing their online ad spend to 10 to 15% of budget from 6% earlier. E-commerce companies, on the other hand, spend as much as 80 to 100% of their advertising on digital, Srinivasan said. Facebook, for example, is increasing its focus on small and medium business in order to grow in India. India has 9 lakh small and medium business active on Facebook compared to 30 million SMBs globally, and it is investing in the business to grow monetization in India. LinkedIn is trying to customize its offering for the Indian market. The Professional Networks Recruiter offering for the Indian market allows a recruiter to hire unlimited India-based candidates. Twitter's tie-up with Amazon to enable shopping with Twitter and the launch of Twitter Cards to add rich content within Twitter itself are some of the initiatives that can help the platform monetize better in India.
Well, Shreya, after 3 weeks of intense competition filled with joy, tears and a lot of pedaling, the 101st Tour de France finally had its winner in Vincenzo Nibali. Most of the 2014 cyclists shared their day-to-day moments on Twitter throughout the race. The lucky fans who sometimes waited days to see the pack immediately took to Twitter to share their unique insight on the race.
And whether they were on the road, watching on TV or out and about with their mobile updates, the Twitter content offered by Latour encouraged everyone following the pack to join the conversation, including cycling teams, former cyclists, reporters and TV viewers. Cyclists and organizers gave behind-the-scenes access to Twitter fans, and it's not surprising that the conversation around this Tour de France generated more than 3.75 million tweets overall.
So here's how the race played out on Twitter. Amazon now has the same how to use a curling iron or how to get a close shave videos that gain millions of views on YouTube. But what's different about watching these tutorials on Amazon is that next to the video you can browse more than 55 items related to the video you just watched, including curling irons and razors in this case, which are available to purchase on Amazon.com.
Yes, it seems as if social media and e-commerce are very soon going to be one entity. We covered this collaboration in our last episode, with Facebook also joining the fray after Amazon joined Twitter to enable users to tweet products into their shopping carts. Well, now you might want to add YouTube to that list of would-be competitors with its introduction to a new section with YouTube-like content called Video Shorts.
Amazon has added a video shorts section to the instant videos in the last couple of weeks. Amazon started adding short-form video content to its video service last year and has been slowly growing the catalog, which now contains a mix of movies and game trailers, music videos, concert clips, and how-to videos and much more. The how-tos on instant video focus largely on beauty and makeup tips, a genre which is exploding on YouTube, where millions of viewers tune into vloggers' channels. So it's like Amazon meets YouTube. Like YouTube, the video shorts content has runtime, a short description, and a comments and review section. Unlike YouTube, most videos on Amazon's site seem to be produced by companies rather than individuals. The Amazon spokesman said that they are working with many content partners on video licensing but refuse to provide any specific details. The video game section largely features game trailers and clips, and very few walkthroughs or tips like YouTube offers. Meanwhile, Amazon has no rival to game live streaming. In other sections, the Amazon short-form video section include food and drink, technology, and literature and books categories, which conveniently also relate to content Amazon.com sells in its online store. Though these days, what isn't Amazon selling? The company's ambitions seem boundless, with investments in everything from cloud infrastructure and services to mobile devices and consumer hardware. The company wants to deliver groceries to your door, ship products via drones, stream media to all your screens, and even produce its own TV shows and games. It shouldn't then come as any surprise that Amazon would like to see its instant video service as something that could not only take on iTunes and Netflix, but potentially YouTube as well. Amazon may have added a video short section, but it has a long way to go to produce a business that would actually compete with YouTube. In a strategic move, Facebook has now made it mandatory for Android and iPhone users to download its Messenger app in order to chat. Will this prove as a hindrance for WhatsApp, or is it a simple move to promote Facebook Messenger? Let's find out.
Facebook started forcing the Messenger app on users for mobile chat in April this year. The company had then announced that it was removing the chat messaging feature from its main app, forcing users to download the Messenger app for chat with Facebook contacts on their mobiles. Now the company will stop allowing instant messaging via main Facebook for Android and iPhone apps altogether. This is prompting all users to download the company's standalone Facebook Messenger app. Facebook initially started notifying users in France, England, and several other European countries for downloading the Messenger app for instant messaging on the social platform. The social networking giant saw some positive results in Europe in terms of user engagement, and so decided to move ahead with enforcing it all around. The company notes that users can continue to chat via the main Facebook app on iPads, feature phones, Windows phones, via paper app, and the web-based desktop interface. For easy switching between the Facebook app and the Messenger, the social networking giant has included a Messenger shortcut option at the bottom of the Facebook app. Once clicked, users are led to the Messenger app, from where they can head back to the main Facebook app by clicking on the touch to return to Facebook option.